It's cold, it's windy, and it's raining. But we're in Montevideo, Uruguay, to cover UFC Fight Night Shevchenko against Carmouche. We found a cozy place. It's warm. We have nice lunch. We have beer, and we have Fernanda Prates joining me for our preview show for MMA fighting. My name is Guilherme Cruz, and we're going to talk about the main fights that are going down here in Uruguay on Saturday nights. So first, Fernanda, what are the vibe you're feeling here in Uruguay for this card?
It's interesting. I think there's some excitement. Apparently, it's almost sold out, if it hasn't been sold out yet. So there's interest. The arena seems to be amazing. We haven't been there yet, but it looks really cool. And I think that when I talked to Dave Shaw, the VP for Latin America and Canada, he was just talking to me about how these situations are good. Even if they don't have many fighters from Uruguay now, that these plant the seeds for the future. So I'm sensing some interest, and I think this could be really cool and a very cool starting point for MMA in Uruguay.
Let's talk about the main fights. In the main event, we have Valentina Shevchenko defended the flyweight title against Liz Carmouche. It's a rematch. They fought once before in 2010. Yeah. No one knows anything about that fight. We don't have video. We don't have anything. We only have what they're talking us about, the fights that.
And Liz, a picture of Liz with the bloody hands.
Of blood. Courtesy of an up kick that Liz Carmouche landed over her on Valentina Shevchenko's face. What are your thoughts on this? Because Valentina Shevchenko is a 10-1 favorite. Do you think that's fair to Liz Carmouche and fair to what we can expect from that fight?
Fair is it's a strange word to you. We get why, right? And it's just such an interesting position for a fighter to be, because she was a 16-1 favorite against Jessica Ai. Jessica Ai was in many ways a logical contender and a logical title challenger, and at the same time we treated that like a huge mismatch. So that just goes to show the type of dominance that Valentina has. And I mean, her only losses were that one that we don't know nothing about, and the ones to Amanda, who now
it wasn't really close.
That was really close. One was a split decision, and the other, it was a unanimous, but she was doing well. So I get why she's such a big favorite. I don't know if it's fair to Liz, because Liz is a good fighter, and I think she's a tougher matchup than Jessica Ai was, because she's a smart fighter and she's experienced. She's not gonna do. I don't think she's gonna fight in a way that is stupid or reckless.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not that fair to her, because it paints a picture of her being this sort of doormat. But I get why people really expect Valentina to win this one.
She just won the belt. She's defending it. She's starting her run as a champion. But do you think she's already getting to that position that there's no one else basically to fight her for the title, and that's why people are already talking about super fights and her fighting Jessica Andrade and her fighting Amanda Nunes for a third time? Do you think that's why people are already thinking about super fights instead of this contender is next in line and that contender?
I think so, and I think also it has to do with the other divisions, right? Because when we're talking about Amanda Nunes, at this point we were all thinking she was going to fight Cyborg, and then Cyborg is out of the picture. So who's left for her? The one person who sort of made her look mortal and human for a few seconds. So that's why we're talking about that fight. With Jessica Andrade, the strawweight division is a little stronger than bantamweight, but still, I actually asked Valentina about this, because I said I think it's a testament to just the way that you have been. Yeah, because she's only fought 3 times in flyweight at the same time. One of them was against Priscila Cachoeira, who was a newcomer. So it's just, she's in a very unique position. But I did ask her about it, and she doesn't really like talking about other fights that much. She was kind of dismissive on, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. She thinks the fight with Amanda Nunes is inevitable. But she did say that she thinks the flyweight division is strong and getting stronger, because a lot of the girls are coming down from bantamweight and some girls are coming up from strawweight. So at the same time that we don't see many contenders for her, it's changing so fast, and I think the division is growing so much that in a few months we might.
just to go on record, you're picking her to win Saturday.
I am picking her to win on Saturday, but I'm not, I guess, maybe as enthusiastic or confident about it as some people. But yeah, I'm picking her to win.
Yeah, I'm picking her as well. In the co-main event, we have an exciting fight. Vicente Luque on a 5-fight winning streak. He's on a roll, but he hasn't faced like a top contender in the division, a big name. He's getting a name now in Mike Perry, who's exciting. He's like a brawler, going there to trade hands with him. What do you expect from this fight? Outside of it's going to be exciting.
I think that Vicente broke it down well in that they have similar style. Looking at it, you see two aggressive strikers, sort of, right? Because like that's what they do. Vicente's a finisher. He's finished all his fights in all his wins in the UFC were finishes, and he's also a great striker. Really, he has power. He can pull the trigger, but like he said, Mike Perry is sort of a more aggressive, in-your-face brawler type, while he's more like a cerebral counter-attack type guy. So I think that he's gonna play it smart. The way I see it playing out is Mike Perry has been evolving, and he told us about that, right? How he's thinking more like a martial artist now, and working on not being that type of brawler that we've seen. But I think it's pretty much in his nature, and I think Vicente is gonna be able to capitalize on that. But I think it's gonna be fireworks. I don't see it ending quickly. Also, I think it's gonna be cool.
Do you feel like this could be Vicente Luque's first decision win in the UFC? If he plays smart, if he doesn't go so aggressive against a guy that hits hard as well?
It could be. I'm always tempted to say he could submit him, but we know Mike Perry is also training with some pretty good jiu-jitsu guys. Yeah. So I don't even, because he's training with Rodolfo and Jacare at X-Fusion, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I would guess that, but now I'm not guessing it anymore. Yeah. I think it might be a decision.
Yeah. And speaking of Rodolfo, he's in one of the most interesting fights for me in this card. He's making his UFC debut. If you don't know Rodolfo, he's a 5-time Jiu-Jitsu world champion, an ADCC gold medalist. He's won it all in Jiu-Jitsu, and he's made his move to MMA a couple of years ago. He's already in the UFC, 5-0 in MMA. I'm really looking forward to this. He's 5-0 with all finishes. He had to dig deep in one of his fights. Outside of that, 4 first round finishes. And I'm really curious to see how he's going to do against a pretty tough guy in Oscar Piechota. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Sorry about that. But I'm really curious to see how he's going to handle being in the octagon for the first time.
Yeah, I'm the same. I mean, we saw him today at the weigh-ins. He looked a little rough. Yeah. And we know that, I mean, some people really dismiss octagon jitters as this thing that doesn't exist, but I think it very much exists. And Rodolfo, he told me, like, I get nervous before fights. I'm sure he's going to be nervous for this one. So I'm curious to see how he's going to channel that, how the weight cut is going to play into it. He also had a very quick turnaround, right? Yeah. He just recently fought, and he didn't really get much rest. He was like not even 2 weeks, I guess, before taking this fight. So I'm curious to see all of that. But I think he's a tremendous athlete. I spoke to Santiago Ponzinibbio, who is here with him, and Santiago was like, he's a monster. Yeah. Like, if his mind is right, we can expect great things.
It's over,
yeah. So
much pressure he puts on the ground. I think his style in jiu-jitsu is perfect for going to MMA because it's a mix of jiu-jitsu, but he has strong wrestling as well. So if he gets on top of you on the ground, it's over for you. Unless you're a black belt like Jacare, if they fought in MMA, it would be closer on the ground. But if he gets on the ground against anyone, even if you're a black belt, if you're a black belt, but you're not a Rodolfo Vieira black belt, you're not on this level. So it's definitely interesting if you go to the ground with him. I'm curious to see if he gets that takedown on Saturday.
And he's not one of those, like, and he's smart about it too, right? Like, he knows that's his thing, and he's not gonna be like falling in love with his punching power all of a sudden and trying to like prove a point that he has no business proving. So I'm right with you there.
So before we wrap it up, is there any other fight in this card that you're really looking forward to? We know it's not the deepest card, but it has some interesting fights here and there. What are you looking forward to most?
We were actually talking about it before. I think the fight between Raulia Paiva and Botorin can be can be an interesting one, like a sleeper fight. They both had exciting fights before, so this is kind of like, to me, one of the best the better matchups of the entire card. I'm curious to see Gilbert Burns. Obviously, it's short notice, so it's only so much that we will be able to tell from this fight, but I'm interested to see him at welterweight. We saw him looking healthy today.
Yeah, he looked like a normal human being.
Yeah, he was still late, but well, not late. He was within the time frame, but he was one of the last ones to win. So I'm curious to see him. And actually, the first fight of Poliana Viana, because she started out in the UFC really strong with her first fight was a quick win, and then Dana White was like really curious about her, and we were all. She seemed promising, and then she had those losses. She's coming into this on short notice, so I'm just kind of like curious more for her career.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun night, Saturday nights, and if you're following us all week, we have a bunch of interviews from Media Day Thursday. We didn't have open workouts, but this morning everyone make weight on the official weigh-ins.
Yeah.
Saturday afternoon we're having one weigh-ins, and Saturday night stick with us. We're gonna have a bunch of coverage for post-fight interviews and all that. So on MMAfighter.com. Thank you again, Fernanda, for making your debut in our previous show. Finally, giving us the honor of being here with us on the previous show, and thank you for watching our coverage of MMAfighter.com.